And we are live. This is Tabletop Junkie coming right at you, bringing you the review for Fate Core, the Fate Core system review that we've done on 2 other streams. I know I'm already on nearly 20 minutes late, and I am late for a very important date. Just kidding. We're getting ready to do a adventure with Fate Core, hopefully next stream. But because today we're hopefully going to wrap up everything we have here, everybody. So hopefully this makes people interested in playing Fate Core. And like I said, this is, Tabletop Junkie, and I do have a guest in the house today, and it's my main man,
Hey,
Boo Boo. I mean Toby. Never mind. Sorry.
what was that?
I said, here's my main man, Boo Boo. I mean Toby.
Hold on. Hey, Yogi.
Yeah, there you go. So, sorry. I was just watching Yogi Bear, so that's actually not a bad movie, to be honest.
Not.
But no, I was kind of skeptical because I grew up with the original Yogi Bear, like the original cartoon, but that live action movie was really good.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd and Boo Boo was played by Justin Timberlake, and I'm like, no, yes, totally. What?
That's cool.
No, geez. Talk about actors, man. You know, an actor is top level, top notch when they can just play any role, and you just don't think it's them.
Yep.
So without further ado, I know we're late, about damn near 20 minutes late for a very important date, and I keep doing that, but that's because our demonstration we're going to show you is called the White Rabbit. And yes, it is Alice in Wonderland inspired. I kind of sometimes like that. And that's how we are going to show you guys Fate Core on the next stream. So for today, we need to start talking about stunts, because stunts are just awesome. Yeah. Stunts can be used to add a new skill. I am sorry. I'm going to back that up. I just tripped over my own feet. Stunts can be used to add a new action to a skill, add a bonus to an action, create a rule exception. You can also use it to balance stunt utility. There's I don't know if that's actually a thing or if that's just a utility tool that they have you help balance. And then you got stunt families such as stacking and branching effects. And we're going to go through all of those. So without further ado, we are going to just jump right in this. Toby, I hope you don't mind. Is there anything else you'd like to add really quick, or should we just proceed?
Let's just jump right into it, Tabletop.
Jumping right into it, Toby. There we go. We're going to jump right into it. Our very first thing is we're going to show you I'm going to share some examples of each stunt type. Okay. And stunts can be used to help give you anything for like the default skill list. And the default skill list is what we have to use for right now. Now, when you Fate Core, future Fate Core people start using Fate Core for yourself, you'll probably be adding some stunts and, some other things. I'm trying to get Toby here to play a Western with me where he is going to rob a train. And you know what? There's 2 skills that are not used in it. Oh, no. There's 1 skill that's not used in it. 1 skill gets replaced with another skill, and then we add another skill. So you'll have a total of 19 skills to choose from for that new one.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it's a Western, so you obviously you're going to take out drive and add ride. Also, you're going to probably add in pilot, because pilot is used to steer even carriages. I didn't really think about that, but that was some other readings we were doing, which we'll probably have to do some reviews on that in the near future, because it's all Fate Core, and I love Fate Core because it's just easy to do. So
it really is.
Well, let's begin with the add a new action to a skill. The most basic option for a stunt. Give me 1 second here, guys. I have got a technical issue. All right, sorry about that. A big technical issue there. All right, so the most basic option for stunt is to allow a skill to do something that it normally cannot do. For an example, a good example, and it is in the book too, is a backstab stunt. You can use stealth to make a physical attack, provided your target isn't already aware of your presence. I think that's the best example. What do you think, Toby?
Give me 1 second.
Okay. And the reason why I say that's the best example is because you can't use stealth to attack. It's not. It's on the list.
I mean,
It doesn't have an
I
attack
don't think I
option.
used it as a stunt, but I used it as a. I probably should have added it as a stunt using lore or logic in replace of persuasion or rapport.
Ah,
But instead of doing that, I think I just used a fate point. Yeah.
could do that. Yes. What lore or logic for what? What were you? In what context were you using that for? Would it fit in the skill of using a new? In the realm of using a new action to a skill?
Using lore to persuade the people to not follow a certain person.
I think that would be using the skill in an. I think that might fall under a different category. Because action would be like overcome, create advantage, attack, and defend.
Oh yeah, then hitting someone with the car, drive.
Yeah, there you go. You're gonna attack someone with a car. You still have to learn how to drive that. There you go. You attack someone with a car. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. Like that's how you would add a new action. You know, stunts are awesome. They can do anything. So our next one is we skipped ahead quite a bit. Adding a bonus to an action, which is basically you get a +2 bonus to the skill and the action that you're trying to perform. Which many things for that is, I mean, that's just generally what anyone uses it for. You get a +2 to fight when using a particular knife, my minion knife. So whenever I attack a minion with my minion knife, using my minion knife, I get a +2 with a boost, especially if he's already a minion. You know what? That minion knife probably went through like 5 minions at that point because, geez.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it. You know, adding a bonus, a +2. Very simple. Very simple. Creating a rule exception. A stunt can allow a skill to make a single exception in a narrow circumstance. Toby, do you have an example of that? Because I think you shared one last time.
Give me a second because I don't have it on. Oh, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go to it though, real quick. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yep. No, that's fine. I just know you have a stunt that you use on a very specific at a very specific time with a very specific reason.
Yes.
I can't remember what it was. I just know you have one for one of the games. I think it's in the superhero game.
It is. That's what I'm going to.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
my character is a 7th level intellect who knows a lot of forbidden knowledge. And one of his stunts is mental discipline. And he used it against his his villain of that thing. And I made the stunt for it. And it's since he's the shepherd of humanity, I gain a +2 when using lore to flood someone's mind with forbidden knowledge using my super intelligence.
You're basically giving them the power, but it's too much power, so they get overwhelmed. Yep. That is an excellent example of creating a rule exception. Another one is like ritualist. Use lore in place of another skill during a challenge, allowing you to use lore twice in the same challenge. Or if you succeed with style on a fight defense, you using fight to defend instead of something else to defend, you can choose to inflict 2 shift hit rather than take a boost. So once again, you have great things going on in a very narrow circumstance, and the occasion does have to call for it, and it has to make sense. That's why you're using it at that point in time.
Yeah.
So, all right, and then the balancing the stunt utility, which is to help balance stunts and their uses out. You should the balancing the stunt utility topic is where you are basically giving your stunt a restriction, such as fate point powered stunt. You can either use it once per conflict, once per scene, or once per session. That's what that utility is used for, to keep it from instead of going in chaos and being the most powerful being ever there is, or whatever, to help for GMs to help control the situation a little bit there, where players don't go rampant. The balancing stunt utility does allow restrictions on that, where if you got this really awesome stunt, you may only be able to use it once per session, or you may have to power it with a fate point. So,
Yeah.
And as I stated, this just keeps the stunts balanced and limited to uses, and power isn't just running chaotically rampant. So, and then our final topic on stunts. I hope we have not just been powerhousing this, and where everyone's missing it. I mean, it's very simple. It's a very simple system. Once you get the hang of it, I do recommend playing with an experienced game master, such as myself. So I definitely, if anyone who sees these future videos, I'm sure hoping, you guys pick up on this, that you guys can just, direct message me, and we could add you to our group, and I could, show people how to run Fate Core. We'll definitely be going over these in our demonstration, to where I have a rubric of what we're going to need our characters to do, what we're going to show examples on, going into the future. So, but the next one is going to be stunt family, stacking effects, and branching. Ooh. Now I gotta admit there, Toby, I don't think we really did too much of this in any of our games.
I'm clueless about what this is. So,
well, the stacking effects. The simplest way of handling a related stunt is just making the original stunt more effective in the same situation. Such as if the stunt added an action, narrow it further and give a new action a bonus. Follow the same rule for adding a bonus. The circumstances in which it applies could be narrower than that of the base action. If the stunt gave a bonus to an action, give an additional +2 bonus to the same action, or add an additional 2 shift effect to that stunt. Another example is if the stunt has a rule exception, make it even more of an exception. This might be difficult depending on what the original exception it was, just so you all know. A good example is if you have something called War Master. You could do an advanced War Master. When you're fighting anyone who is armed with a sword, you get a further +2 bonus to create an advantage using War Master. War Master probably already gives a +2 bonus to fight when using a sword. So now they get like a +4. It sometimes, could also mean it could also be like, I think sometimes a good stacking effect is when sometimes I say you get a +2 to fight with a boost when you're using a particular sword or something like that. So that could be another good example. So, and then the next one is branching. When this type of effect, you create a new stunt that relates to the original in terms of the theme or subject matter, but provides a new effect. If the original stunt added a new action to a skill, a branching stunt might add a different action to that skill, or it might provide a bonus to a different action the skill already has to create a rule exception. Little bit of a warning here. The mechanical effect is connected to the prerequisite stunt, but provides a complementary bit of awesomeness. And it's supposed to just be for, I think it's more like cosmetic, if you get what I'm saying, like cinematic. So allows you to do really cool stuff.
Yeah.
An example that would probably be good for this is, we take the deceive skill. Okay. You might be that you might have a stunt that enhances you lying, or sleight of hand, or misdirection, disguise, create cover stories, or social conflict. So the base skill, you get a +2 to overcome obstacles with deceive, provided you don't have to talk to anyone for any length of time. The branching effect to that would be something of like quick disguise on top of your fast talk. You're able to put together a convincing disguise in a heartbeat using items from your surroundings. That sounds like MacGyver. You can roll deceive to create a disguise without any time to prepare in nearly any situation. That is a good example of branching. Or it's, hey, what's that? Get a +2 bonus whenever you're using deceive, momentarily distracting someone at a long time is another good example. So that was pretty much stunts, everybody. So our next topic, real quick, while I'm flipping through here, just seeing what we have on our list. Toby, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, yeah. Well, in Fate Core, there are outcomes, and you usually only have 4 outcomes. Very simple. When you do roll the dice, you have 4 outcomes. You get that, the dice could help prevail when you're using skills and doing stunts and all this stuff. And that's fail, tie, succeed, or succeed with style. Now, obviously, we all know what fail means. If you roll lower than your opposition, you fail and nothing happens. If you tie,
Well, isn't
then
there also
go
a
ahead.
fail with style?
No, there's no fail with style.
Ah, okay.
No, that's probably like something I have personally just said because you guys rolled like 4 minuses. Sometimes when you're rolling for a skill you don't have, which is just zeroed out, or when you are at a 1 and you get like a -3 or something stupid. All right, so then you get a tie, which you roll the same as your opposition. Succeed if you roll higher than your opposition by more than 2, and then you succeed with style if you roll higher than your opposition by 3 or more. And each one of these do grant you penalties and bonuses. And we're going to go through that. Succeed with style does grant the extra benefit, but that's about it. So, and then at cost. If at cost, whenever you fail or tie at cost, what that means is if you succeed on a fail, it means you succeed on a failed roll, but at a cost. And depending on, if you tie, it could be a minor cost. If you fail right out, it will be a serious cost. That's kind of up to the GM to determine that. And I believe that is more written in the Fate Core actual manual. So, and then we already talked about the 4 actions, I think, for the skill: the overcome, create advantage, attack, and defend. And now those are the 4 actions that you take with any skill that you roll when rolling the dice and deciding what you're going to do with your character. Toby, anything you like to add so far, or just keep going?
Just keep going. You keep recovering it. I don't know what to add.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to go over the 4 actions a bit more in detail, such as overcome. You use overcome actions to achieve assorted goals appropriate to your skill. A character with burglary tries to jimmy into a window. A character with empathy tries to calm a crowd. Kind of makes sense. On a fail, you have 2 options. You can fail on the failed roll, or you can succeed at a serious cost. On a tie, you can attain your goal at a minor cost, which is what we were just talking about. And usually the cost that is better, the difference between a minor and a serious cost is best described in the book. I believe it is chapter 8, maybe, in the Fate Core manual. I do recommend reading it. It is a really good read. I've read that book several times cover to cover. Of course, you can also succeed using overcome, which you attain your goal, and then you succeed with style. You attain your goal and you get a boost. The next one is create an advantage. This action is used to make a situation aspect that gives you a benefit or claim the benefit that from any aspect you have access to. This action covers a broad range of endeavors unified around a theme using your skills to take advantage of the environment or situation you're in. And once again, on a fail roll, you don't get to create your advantage.
Can't you also give someone, you can help someone, can't a player roll to give another player an advantage by trying to help them?
Yes, and that's covered under teamwork. You can totally do that. That's also when you create a situational aspect from like the environment or the zone that you're in, that situation aspect goes to all the party members. Mm-hmm. Anyone can use it. On a failed roll, you don't get to create your advantage. Whenever you end up doing work, like that usually, like if you fail on a create advantage roll, the advantage normally on a fail roll goes to the opposite party. So that's bad. You never want to fail at that.
Yeah.
If you tie, you get a boost instead of the situation aspect, which doesn't last much but a turn. If you succeed, you get what you want with a free invocation, and then I succeed with style, you get the situation aspect with 2 free invokes for instead of 1. You get 2 for the price of 1 with the succeed with style. Succeed with style is like everyone's version of critical.
Yeah.
So, loving it. All right. And then you could also create an advantage that can be used on existing aspects as well. Once again, the fail, tie, succeed, and succeed with style does all play into it. The only difference is when you tie or succeed, you do place a free invocation on that aspect. When you tie or succeed, on a fail, you don't get it; it goes to someone else. And as on a succeed with style, the same thing as previously, 2 free invocations on the already existing aspect. And then attack. Use the attack action to harm someone in a conflict or take them out of a scene. Obviously, I don't think I need to really explain too much about how that works on a fail, tie, succeed, or success with style. That should be pretty well, pretty much out there.
How does it work? How does it work?
Oh, you really want to tell you? Well, if you fail, you don't do anything. If you tie, you don't do anything, but you do gain a boost. If you succeed, you inflict a hit on your target equal to the number of shifts that you got, which is usually the difference between the target's defense and your attack. And succeed with style, it works like normal, but you gain the option to reduce the value of your hit to gain a boost. Or the GM can just give you something cool for it, which I like to think I'm a very generous GM.
You are.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I try really freaking hard. And then defend. Use defend action to avoid an attack to prevent someone from creating an advantage against you. When you fail, you do suffer consequences or whatever you were trying to prevent. On a tie, you do grant your opponent a boost, which that kind of sounds like that sucks. So don't tie either. Wow, just like going through my notes and reading some of the stuff that we're telling some of these people, I just now realized how bad that sounds for defend. It's like, Anyway, succeed. You successfully avoid the attack or you attempt to gain an advantage on you. And then a succeed with style, well, basically works the same way as succeed, and except you get an extra boost. You gotta love that success with style stuff.
Oh yeah.
So in Fakor, there are 3 ways to help zoom in on the action for GMs. We call them challenges, contests, and conflicts. Challenges is when 1 or more characters are trying to achieve something dynamic or complicated. Contest is when 2 or more characters are completing it for a goal, and conflict is, well, when you're fighting someone. Toby, I'm going to fight you. I don't know why.
All right. I rolled the defend.
You roll the defend. What'd you roll?
4.
4? I rolled an 8.
Nah. Well,
I spent some fake points. I spent some fake points. Just kidding.
There goes all my stress boxes.
Like, yeah. Well, you got some consequences there. I broke your legs, both of them. You're crippled under severe consequence. We'll talk about consequences in a little bit.
Pain.
So a challenge is a series of overcome actions that you use to resolve an especially complicated dynamic situation. Quick, catch up to that train. Well, we're on foot. Get the horses. We have no horses. Why not? They were on the train. Wow. Okay. Who put them on the train? Me? Pow. Okay. Shot him. All right. That's done. Challenge over with. Let's, wait a minute. He has a horse.
We still have to catch the train. Come on.
Well, we shot one guy. We took his horse. Each
His horse was also on the train. We were traveling together.
Then what's that other horse down there? Well, that I just all of a sudden have another technical issue. I'm sorry for the dead air, folks. I had another complicated situation.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, I'll give you 1 second. I'll just continue. With each overcome action, you should use a different skill to deal with one task or part of a situation. However, you can take individual results as a whole or to figure out how the situation resolves. That is a challenge, people. To set up a challenge, a GM should simply identify the individual's tasks. And that's pretty much about it. And, depending on the situation, one character may be required to make several roles. Or maybe the whole team makes a role each for each of their characters. It just all depends on how your GM sets that up. A contest. Whenever 2 or more characters have a mutually exclusive goal. Catch that train. That's the exclusive goal. arm wrestling, race, sports events, harmless PvP, I call it, especially if two players are going to duke it out. It's
Oh, that's never
harmless.
fun.
Well, if two players actually duke it out with their characters, it's generally a conflict at that point because you're trying to cause harm to each other. But players, when making a contest roll, compare their results to everyone else's. All right. And to finish up contest, the higher results wins the exchange. Succeed with style counts as 2 victories. Tie, no one wins. And the first participant that achieves 3 victories on a contest roll wins the contest. So basically, roll ride 3 times, and whoever gets, whichever side gets 3 victories first on a train speeding down, the train's got to roll their athletics, or, well, I mean, you don't even have to count it as athletics. You can just call it speed. Speedy, like speedy locomotive. Tobey, have you any past history examples you would like to share about contests? I don't think we really covered that too much, have we? I mean, we might have, but I don't think we covered it. Like
me and a NPC, yes.
Oh, we have. Okay.
I think if you remember, it was me versus the in the zombie game, or me versus the mayor of Chicago.
Oh,
and that's why I said I was using the lore instead of rapport to try and convince a group of people to not follow him.
Yep, and you did win. No, you failed? Yeah, that's right, because a group of people did follow him. Then they were eaten by... Oh, they weren't eaten by zombies. He actually took it over.
He took control of a survivor group, yep.
Yeah, wow.
We had to run away quickly.
That was sad. I remember that. That was so sad.
Yeah, I remember too.
Wasn't that long ago. It feels like it wasn't that long ago, but it might have been.
Yeah.
I do apologize for coughing profusely, guys. I am fighting a cold right now. I live in a snowy state. What can I say? Anyway, conflicts. As long as characters are involved, as long as the characters involved have both the intent and the ability to harm one another, that is called a conflict. And that's just basically roll for attack, roll for defend. You take out stress. A player could give up and concede, while the other player could demolish them. I mean, that's your basic combat. Easiest ways to explain that is what I would say. The GM should always set up the scenes describing those environments, because environments and zones you can use to make situational aspects. You determine the turn order, of course, many different ways to do that. I always personally like to tell everyone to roll their athletics to determine initiative, or I just pick someone, or I just pick people to do, or we do popcorn initiative. I like that. I pick someone to start everything, and then they pick someone to go for it. And then you just start the exchange. One person takes the turn on the other person's turn to defend, and at the end, then rinse, wash, and repeat. What else can I say about that?
Yeah.
So to set the scene, you set the participants in the scene, you set up the situation aspects, if any, bushes, fires, gun turrets, establish the zones. Most GM uses a 20-foot by 20-foot radius for each zone. That's how big they count it. And then if they do use maps, that's how they draw it. You establish a size, which is pretty self-explanatory. Turn order. The book does have some suggestions, such as for physical conflicts, you compare notice, and mental, you compare empathy. Highest goes first. You don't even have to roll. You just compare the score. And then if you tie, you compare the athletics, and then physique for physical, and then conflicts, and then rapport and will for mental, and then the GM decide how that goes from there if they're all are still tied. Which, if those are all still tied, I feel like someone did not set the game up correctly at that point, because you should not all have all the same skills as players. You guys should like the way we set up. We'll definitely have to do a demonstration with more than one player, but the way I set it up is I give you guys a list of skills. Each person picks a different skill from another person. So when someone goes for, like, say, a great +4, and someone picks fight is taken out. No one else can pick fight for the great +4. That is how you get rid of overlapping.
Yep.
And then the exchange, which is pretty basic. Actions on your turn against the opponent's defense. Attacks are like fight or shoot. Defense is physique or athletics. Add the stunts or any extra modifiers as they apply. Full defense. Someone can skip their turn and focus on a full defense attack or a full defense against an attack, granting them a +2 bonus during exchange under the exchange ends. Until the exchange ends. I said under. Why did I say that? Resolving attacks. A successful attack lands a hit equivalent to the shift value. We've already explained that, which is the difference in rolls and vice versa. The attack ends once the character is taken out, which means all their stress boxes are marked off with their consequences being full, or if someone decides to concede. Stress. There's 2 separate types of stress. Physical is the amount of physical damage your character can take. Mental is the amount of mental damage, such as insults or emotional stress a character can take. Tobey, you're a worthless player.
Oh, come on, man! Oh, you're my feeling like that.
You failed on your will roll against my insults. Take 2. Mark off your number 2 point stress box.
That's all I have.
You should have a number 1 there too. What happened to that one?
It's already been filled from last time.
Oh God, really? Well,
it's a new session, so I had to take. It was already at 2, so I had to take 2 down to 1. Then it just refilled the 2.
Oh, geez, that does not work. How does that work?
Well, when you heal from stress, you take off 1 from one milestone. You take off 1. You take off the lowest, then you move the second highest down to the lowest.
Technically, you get all your stress boxes back at the end of every scene.
Oh.
Don't listen to this guy. He calls himself a GM too. But yeah, can't even tell you.
I've never GM'd. I have never GM'd a fake core game. Okay.
This is to be true. Sad but true.
Hey.
Each character starts with 2 stress boxes, and each one a 1 point and a 2 point stress box by default. To gain extra stress boxes, you would have to take 2 skills. To get more in under your physical stress, physique grants extra stress boxes for your physical. Will grants extra stress boxes for your mental. And then there is consequences. Woot woot. Which, for some reason, hang on 1 second. Nope. I've got to figure out because I think something clicked wrongly around here because I had the wrong. Turns out I had the wrong file open this whole time. Got the right file now. Doesn't matter. We still made it through most of it. We're going to talk about consequences. Consequences are my favorite. I like to think they're my favorite. What do you think they're, Tobey?
Your favorite.
They're not your favorite?
Mine. It's not fun being on the receiving end.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I can vouch for that. We are on consequences. Consequences are the second option you have for mitigating a hit. Consequences is more severe than stress. It represents some form of lasting injury or setback that you accrue from a conflict. No wonder why they're not yours. So you have 3 boxes of consequences. Each one has a different shift value, 2, 4, and 6. So the 2 covers 2 points of shifts, 4 covers 4, and 6 covers 6. So, pretty self-explanatory there. Very easy. But, it kind of sucks when that 6th one gets filled up pretty quick. Naming the consequences. For mild, stuff like black eye, bruised hand. Moderate, deep cut, first-degree burns, exhausted. Severe, second-degree burns, compound fracture, guts hanging out. Yikes, I hate to see what an extreme is, which we'll talk about extreme consequences in a minute. Recovery from consequences. You can roll to heal from a mild, fair +2, moderate, great +4, or severe, fantastic +6. Or you can also heal from it if you receive a milestone, especially if your rolls are not that great. Physique for physical and will for mental. To have someone to assist you with recovery, it would be lore or crafts for physical and empathy or rapport for mental, depending on how they are used. And extreme consequences are my favorite. In addition to normal consequences, the PCs also get one last-ditch option to stay in the fight. The extreme consequence. Between major milestones, you can only use this option once. And extreme consequence will absorb up to 8 shifts of a hit, but at a very serious cost. You must replace one of your aspects, except the high concept, that's off limits, with the extreme consequence. Or unless you have an aspect box available, you can use that too. This consequence is there until you hit a major milestone. Conceding the conflict means you pull out to avoid the worst parts of your fate. Getting taken out means you don't have any stress or consequences left. Character death, no stress or consequences, and have no way to save your character's life. This is to be discussed with the player and the GM. And then movement. Characters can move into a zone that is defaulted to, of course, 20 foot by 20 foot radius, and with the roll can move to the next zone, and depending on the roll, can move up to more than a couple of zones, depending on the GM's ruling. And that's how an exchange works, basically. And that's all basically examples of exchange and how to move your characters. I mean, I don't know. I can't really put it any better. Toby, can you put it any better than that?
Give me a second.
Like an exchange of having to deal with the consequences?
No, like an exchange, like basically a conflict. Like if you were in the middle of a battle, like how you can roll to move up a zone or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's like if you hit somebody.
Well, yeah, like if you're in battle, you're fighting a dragon.
If you hit somebody and you successfully hit them, they have to fill out their
right. I was just saying, I was explaining movement.
Oh yeah, like, I have no idea on movement.
Yeah, because I don't think we really have that problem. I mean, you guys are pretty much real gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. All right. But now we're going to talk about our next big thing, which is teamwork. 2 versions of teamwork. Each character that is participating must have an applicable skill at average +1 at the lowest. So they add +1 to the highest person's skill level, and then only the lead character rolls. This is called combining. A fail roll on a combined roll, everyone participating shares the cost. Each person takes a create advantage action as usual with the applicable skill and gives whatever free invocations they get to a single player. Multiple invocations from the same aspect does stack. And that is teamwork. It's very simple. Don't complicate it.
I'll try not.
So as far as running the game, I do recommend reading chapters 8 and 9, and I believe 10, because they do have some good information. In those chapters, they do show you how to, they do talk about how to set up scenes, how to play with NPCs, how to play in the world, and general ideas and strategies to how to run a fake game. We're not going to get into all that because those are like over 50 pages for each chapter. And then, of course, scenes, sessions, and scenarios. Recommended for a reading for that is chapter 9. They tell you how to, they got some tips and some strategies, tips and tricks of how to set up scenes, sessions, and scenarios. And they do define them in those chapters as well, I believe. And also establishing oppositions. I would recommend the reading of chapter 9 for that. The long game, that's, I believe, is chapter 10. They define arcs, campaigns, how to build a campaign, how to do a long campaign, and how to advance characters and the world. And Fate Core world involves in Fate Core, the world evolves like a character. And then they do define, in the long game section, they do define milestones, which we will talk about that. Milestones. There are 3 milestones in Fate Core that grants different benefits: minor, significant, and major. I do like I said, I do recommend the reading on that because they do give better examples. Those are like whole pages, and each milestone, like milestones, can be used for NPCs, the world, and PCs. For most people, I would just say focus on the PC part. For GMs, focus on everything else as well, because for GMs we have to know everything. PCs change in advance with each milestone, and so does the world. I like milestones a little bit better than maybe experience sometimes. They are. And then our last but not least topic is extras. What are they? Well, by definition, an extra is something that doesn't fit into any other place. These prime examples are things like vehicles, weapons, armor, items, living spaces, organizations, your girlfriend, your boyfriend if you're a girl, or your gay partner.
Your significant other.
Well, if your significant other is a dog. I think I hit a nice subject there for Toby. His significant other happens to be Spider-Man 3. Wait, wrong Toby.
No comment.
Okay.
Let's not get into that.
Well, we still have like 15 minutes left, and we covered everything. And that, folks, is Fate Core.
Yay! Woohoo!
Now, I think we've covered it in past videos, and I'm going to cover it again. I like Fate Core for the aspect that you can get a game going in the matter of under a couple hours, and you've already got the rules, the characters set up, and you're already playing at least session 0 of the game, or even session 1 of the game, in the matter of one night, in a couple of hours. That is the biggest like about it. The biggest dislike is, as far as character advancement, is a little, I think it's a little dirty, because there's really doesn't seem to be much room for advancement. But of course, we haven't really played too many long games with this, because a Fate Core game could go short or long depending on. Well, if you're a gamer, you already know. Toby, any other thoughts on your likes and dislikes regarding everything we've covered today?
So stunts, one thing that I dislike is that when you're starting out, it makes it seem like you have to pick them from the beginning.
It almost seems like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does seem like that. And then it's you can wait and choose it throughout the game. That's one thing I dislike, is that, it makes it come across, you have to pick now of how you want to play your character. And that's something I like about Fate Core, is that through the games, you can choose how you want to play your character.
And I think that's the biggest pro on Fate Core, is you don't have to, you just have to pick a couple leading things starting out. You don't have to pick all your skills up front. You can just pick a couple skills to get going under the 30-second Fate Core rules, which we are definitely going to exercise that in our demonstration of the White Rabbit. So folks, do tune in on Monday for the demonstration of the White Rabbit. That's going to be really, really cool. I've got big surprises for my players. So, but we're going to show you where, for the 30-second Fate Core character creation is simple. You just choose your high concept and your trouble, maybe do a part of your face trio, pick a couple skills, and you don't even have to pick any stunts, and, right from the get-go, and then boom, you can jump right into the game. And that's the biggest pro for me is I love the fact that you can discover who your character is. You don't have to know who he is. You can discover him, like discovering yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest con is the exact opposite of that, I would say, is the fact that you get some of those players that have to fill their character sheet all the way out.
Yeah.
The biggest con is you get some of those players that want to do their character sheet separate. Fate Core is not meant for you to make your own character sheet separate from everybody else's. It's meant to be collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that would be the biggest con, because you do end up with a lot of people who think it's like every other system, and it's not like every other system. Fact of the matter.
Yeah.
So we covered pros, cons, likes, dislikes. Anything else regarding an opinion?
I'm thinking. Sorry.
No, take your time. I mean, I guess it's a good thing we were late, huh? Because we did finish on time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And we hope any future viewers, because I don't see anyone in our chat today, which makes me sad because we're throwing these videos together. Oh well, you're not in the chat. You're part of the show.
Yeah, I can send you a private chat.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Look, see.
He's young, folks. He's very young.
Hey, I'm making a joke. I thought I'm pretty funny.
You are very funny. It hurts to laugh right now.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me for just a moment. Ugh. Well, I think we covered everything here for Fate Core, folks. And Toby, I appreciate you showing up for every single stream.
Yep,
brother,
happy
you
to be here.
you are definitely you're definitely my hot player, man. My hot player. Well, I am glad. Well, Toby, is there anything else you'd like to say to our fellow future viewers of America?
Thanks for tuning in the future, and hope everyone has good days.
Me too. It's Friday, Toby. It's Friday, so you know what tomorrow is.
Hey, you don't got to tell me twice.
I know, it's Saturday, and you know what Saturdays are? Game days. But I think we've already established if you and I could game every single day, we would.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we are totally junkies. All right, folks. I want to just let all my future viewers, if you tuned in, you saw our Fate Core review, I hope we got you into Fate Core. If not, I do apologize. We'll have to figure out what we can do to make it better next time. Maybe go through some other simple things. So starting on Monday, we are going to do session 0 for the White Rabbit. Toby here, along with hopefully we'll have another player. If not, that's fine. The greatest thing about Fate Core, the biggest pro and the biggest like that I have to add is you could totally do a solo game and it will never be unfair. And you could pin a guy, you could pin a single player against 100 people that are mobs. He may not die.
I run away.
Come on.
I kite them. Hit and run, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run.
I mean, you did technically take on a horde of zombies, so that counts.
Use the car as a weapon.
Use the car as a weapon, but then you got stuck in the car. Oh crap! There's too many. There's too many. How much is left of this horde? Well, it's a horde. It could be unlimited. It's like a hurricane. It's a zombie hurricane. You're going through a zombie land hurricane. Oh crap! I messed up. You think? Anyway, well, this is Tabletop Junkie here to bring you all the tabletop news and reviews out there. Like I said, we're going to do our Fate Core demonstration of the White Rabbit. starting on Monday, and then we're gonna do another review on the system on a system. And the review that we're gonna do, our next review after Monday, or at least after we're done with our demonstration for Fate Core, is going to be another Fate type game, but it's not going to be Fate Core. It's going to be Fate Accelerated. Toby, I don't think you've ever played Fate Accelerated before.
I have not. I will be here. I will be here for the ride.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a long ride. So that'll occur after the demonstration, and then we will basically, we'll have some fun. So hopefully we'll start getting some viewers, and people be like, oh, man, these guys are awesome. You know, well, everyone, game hard, play hard, work hard. Game on, everybody. Have a great, wonderful weekend. And this is Tabletop Junkie giving his famous tabletop salute to you. You guys have a great and wonderful weekend. You guys take it easy, and thank you for tuning in.